Well, a very good morning to you. It is Thursday, the 14th of September 2023, and it's raining again.
It is.
We're about to set off from the marina in Lincoln in the Brayford Pool. We're just going to take the swamp duck down to the first lock before it goes on to the River Witham, and then we're going to turn around and come back and then make our way very slowly up to Torksey Lock. We can't go through the lock today, so we need to moor up at the visitor moorings at Torksey and wait for the flood tide tomorrow morning around about 8:30. So that's the plan. I can honestly say I am now a proper boater.
Yeah, tell them what happened this morning, about 5 minutes ago actually.
I fell in. The pontoons here, because they're really, really wet and they're full of slimy green bits and duck poo and all that sort of thing. They're very, very slippy, and just getting the front rope undone, I slipped. But I'm just wet. Well, I was wet, I'm not now. So everything's okay, but we're both proper boaters.
You were lucky though, because you only went in waist deep.
Yeah, it was only waist deep, yeah.
It's just funny watching it.
It's just a bit of a shock, and it's a bit nippy.
Yeah, it's cold, it's very cold today.
So
it was beautiful yesterday
It
though.
was, we had a really nice... We've really enjoyed ourselves at Lincoln. I think it's really been very well worthwhile coming. And I'll definitely do it again sometime, and maybe go a little bit further on next time. The only thing about that is you'll see in a bit how it's got even weedier in the time that we've been here, and it's that sort of green carpet weed, and apparently that goes all the way to sort of Boston. And also it's a little bit like the early part of the Foss Dyke, where you can't see much over the banks of the river or the navigation, so it can be just a little bit tedious.
It's a bit boring the first part.
Yeah, and also you're very reliant upon there being moorings on pontoons. There's nowhere else really to pull up. That's the only thing that's one of the problems with rivers, that you can't pull up, whereas on a canal you can more or less pull up most places.
The first place we managed to stop was the Pywye.
Yeah, the Pywye, and I don't think there's anything between that and here, is there really? So that's the plan. Obviously it's raining quite hard, so we can only video and photograph what we can really. So come and join us.
Bye.
Bye.
So we're headed for the glory hole to go down towards the first lock, and unfortunately there's a massive CRT workboat in the entrance and there's not enough room to get by, so we've literally just had to turn around and we're headed back for Torksey.
Well, it's been a very wet morning so far, in more senses than one, but it has stopped raining a little bit. We've decided just to pull in at the village of Saxelby, where there are some visitor moorings. I think there's a water point, oh yeah, there is, it's just opposite, which is very useful because it's on the opposite side to these moorings. I don't know whether there's one on this side. But these are the visitor moorings anyway, and there's a pizza place there and a butcher's and a pub, so you can moor up here on your way down to Lincoln. It is a little bit nippy this morning, so I've just put the Chinese diesel heater on just to give us a bit of warmth. There's a narrowboat just coming down. Haven't seen very many boats moving on this stretch at all, really. It's been very quiet. We've arrived at Torksey Lock, and we've managed to find a sneaky little mooring next to a CRT workboat. It's a little pontoon. It's not marked in any way, shape or form for anything in particular. It's not near the water point, and it's not near the lock landing, and it's not private. So we've just bagged it. So hopefully we can stay here uninterrupted tonight, and we can see the lock landing from where we are. We can see the traffic light. So as soon as that goes green tomorrow, we can radio in and get down the lock. So here's Torksey Lock, and as you can see it's on red. There's nobody around actually, the lock keepers have long gone. You only really have one chance to get up and down Torksey Lock first thing in the morning at the moment. After that it's too shallow to get over the sill to get into the lock. So just next to the lock you've obviously got the lock landing, and there is a big notice there saying no overnight moorings, and then we've got 3 water points, and again you're only supposed to be there for 30 minutes. Then there's this workboat, and there's a little pontoon, and then there's a little swamp duck. It's not marked at all, this pontoon. So long as another workboat doesn't turn up in the next hour or so, I think we should be alright just to stay here overnight. According to the locals, a lot of people moor up on the water points, but I don't want to do that. And next to us is the CRT moorings. I was offered one of these not so long ago. and then the actual visitor moorings are about 1 kilometre away, quite a way away really, to get to the CRT facilities, which are next to the lock. And having just cracked my rib cage, I don't really want to have to walk quite so far, because it is a little bit painful at the moment. So we'll just see how we get on tomorrow morning. Well, a very good morning to you. It's Friday the 15th of September and we're just leaving Torksey Lock, and we'll be back on the tidal Trent in a couple of minutes. It's just gone 8:30, so we're on time this morning. Got everything ready. Nobody seemed to mind about our sneaky mooring last night, so that was quite useful because we could see when the lock keeper came bouncing on duty.
Full of the joys of spring.
Full of the joys of spring, yes. There's a narrow boat about to turn round. I don't think they're coming up, are they? They decided they're going towards Gainsborough. So I don't think they've actually got anybody waiting for them at the moment. Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
He was just telling us about the boat.
Right. So when we get down to the end of the lock approach, we're going off to the port side, and that takes us nice and gently with the flood tide to Cromwell Lock. At 8:30 in the morning, the flood tide should last us about an hour and a half. Once you get past an hour and a half, the effect of the flood tide wears off, and so you're really just left with the natural flow of the river with the fresh water. And it has rained 2 days this week, so there may be an increase in the flow because of the extra fresh water, but we'll see how we go with that.
Cheers, have a good trip.
We're just passing Nick Roberts, who we spoke to last night, and he runs the Trent Link Facebook page, Safe Navigation of the Tidal Trent. Right, as we come out of Torksey Lock, we're faced with our first right hand bend, so we have to stay on the left hand side because you'll always try and stay on the outer side of the bends. We did notice on our way down how quickly the river level dropped. When we started off, you just saw a little bit of the sandbanks at the side, but within an hour and a half they were they'd become a beach, hadn't they, really? Yeah. And all the cattle were, I think that's a sign actually, when you see all the cattle grazing on the beach, you know that the river level has gone down. But apart from that, you know, on the straight bit, just stay towards the middle. So just stay maybe just a little bit right of the middle, just to allow any boats coming towards you so they can pass. But to be honest, I think we only had about one boat pass us on the way up, and we know from talking to the lock keeper at Cromwell, who's very friendly, that there was only a couple of boats so far when we rang that were booked on, and they were coming up behind us, so he did warn us that they might come speeding past us because there are a couple of very large cruisers apparently. So we'll keep our eyes out for them. What a glorious day to be doing this again. We had sunshine all the way down, and looks like we're going to have sunshine all the way back up. We are going to try and get into the King's Marina at Newark. We're going to give it our best shot. There are also some green markers on the side where it's okay to go, and obviously red markers on the side where it's not. There's supposed to be lights, so I don't know whether they actually do light up at night. I'm not sure whether they're just reflective or whatever. The good thing about this stretch is because you've got to book into the locks and they're all very well controlled, they obviously know how many boats are on this any particular stretch of it, so it's fairly well controlled, isn't it, really, as regards numbers of boats. Some lovely ducks there having a bit of a paddle. So we're at a point now where we have to go from the starboard side and cross over to the port side, because we've got an island in the middle which we have to go on the left hand side of. The channel on the right hand side isn't deep enough. I can see some problems with people who've said that you don't need the charts and all the rest of it. That would be a point where, if you didn't know about that being shallow on that side, you could get caught out. Because there is actually no marker on the island, is there, to say keep to the left. There's nothing, certainly going this way.
Unless there wasn't, it's overgrown.
Yeah, there could be one in all the bushes that's overgrown, but at the moment you wouldn't know that. We have had discussions with people that have said, oh, you don't need to buy the charts, you can just rely on sticking to your own route or whatever, but that is a serious point where if you had a boat with a much bigger draft than us, then you might come into difficulty. So I think for peace of mind I would definitely just at least catch sight of some charts and make a note of where the difficulties lie. We're just cruising along at 6.3 miles per hour, and we are going with the flow, literally. So this is a flow tide, so that means it's going back up the Trent, and it's taken us with us. And we can just see a bridge in the background there. This is motorboat Swamp Duck on channel 74, over. We're just coming up to the 47 marker and request permission to enter the lock, over. Understood, Swamp Duck out.
Ta-da! Right.
We came very successfully through Cromwell Lock, no problems at all. We were the only boat in the lock. Chap was very pleasant, got us through okay. And we're now on the non-tidal Trent once more, and we're just heading towards Newark. There's one more lock, Nether Lock. The chappie at Cromwell radioed ahead, so they're expecting us in about an hour 15 minutes, something like that. This was a lock that we had to do ourselves on the way down because we were too early for any staff. So we've got the luxury of staying on the boat, and then we're going to try and get in that marina that we missed on the way up. Do a bit of a backward shot of where we'd be. He's going to get his feet wet. Nether lock control, nether lock control. This is motorboat Swamp Duck on channel 7-4, over. Nether lock control, nether lock control. This is motorboat Swamp Duck on channel 7-4, over. Maybe he's busy. Nether lock control, nether lock control. This is motorboat Swamp Duck on channel 7-4, over. Netherlock, we're just approaching you. Permission to enter the lock, over.
Swamp Duck, this is Netherlock. I'm just preparing the lock now. Come in when you see the green light. Netherlock.
Understood, Swamp Duck. So, okay, we finally managed to get moored up at Newark, King's, Aqua Vista, Waterside and Marina. Bit of a mix up there with the bookings. I don't think that the lady that I booked it with had actually written anything down, so we weren't on the list, but it doesn't matter because they got plenty of space. And the chappie that I spoke to has looked after us, provided us with an electric card for a £5, and then we've got a key fob so we can use showers and facilities, that kind of thing. We were warned from some people that have been here before that the pontoons are a little bit wobbly. It's okay for us because we're only a short boat, but if you're at the other end they are a bit like that. It's because they're sort of the floaty ones rather than the fixed ones, so you need to be aware of that. And I can understand these people, they had a dog and they found it difficult to get the dog off and all that sort of thing, but I think for us it'd be absolutely fine. So what we're going to do now for the rest of the day, we need to get some more fuel. We used about a tank to get us here. We were going at a fair old speed, and towards the end we were going against the tide going back out, and also fresh water coming at us. So the boat did slow down, so we had to give it a little bit more welly, so that would have used a little bit more fuel. So we're going to go to the nearest petrol station, which is Waitrose, which we used last time we were here, get some fuel, and then we can have a wander around Newark. And then tomorrow morning we're going to get up early, get through the town lock, and then wend our way back towards Nottingham. And we've got another night out in Nottingham already planned. So we'll catch you later. Well, a very good morning to you. We're just leaving Newark Marina, Newark Waterside Aqua Vista Marine, and turning to the starboard side, and we're heading towards Newark Town Lock. So I'm just going to give them a call up to say that we're on our way. Newark Town Lock, Newark Town Lock. This is motorboat Swamp Duck on channel 7-4, over. This is Motorboat Swamp Duck on channel 74, over.
Go ahead.
Newark Town Lock, we're just heading towards you. We've just left King's Marina, so we'll be at the lock in 2 or 3 minutes, over.
Hello, understood. I'll have the lock set for you.
Thank you very much. Swamp Duck out. So we've just come through Gunthorpe Lock, and we've decided to moor up at the Gunthorpe pontoon so we can have a spot of lunch. We're making really good progress and the sun is coming out, which is great. So we've just come through Stoke Lock and we've only got one more on this part of the Trent to do. That's Home Lock, and then we come off the Trent and go up onto the Nottingham and Beeston Canal. And we're not far away then from the Aqua Vista Marina. There's just 2 manual locks to do. It's a very pleasant afternoon now. I don't know how many fishermen we've passed on the way down, but I would say there was a fisherman every 10 yards for miles and miles. Really lots and lots of them, all taking advantage of the sunshine today.
Middle. There's risers in the wall. Which one do you want to go for? I won't go too close to that up there. I'd stay at this back end.
Right after the ladder.
Yeah, that one. I'm ready. Got my lock thing ready. Got my hook. Ow. I've got my rope and all. Get going. Keep going. And we're on. Got here.
Okay, so we're back in the fair city of Nottingham. We just got these 2 locks to do, and then we can get into the marina. It's 18 minutes past 3. We're okay to get to the marina as long as we get there before 4 o'clock. We should be fine, and we've got our usual spot. I think they're getting a bit used to us. So we'll catch you when we get to the marina. So it's just coming up to 4:30 on Saturday the 16th of September 2023, and as you can see we are just here back at Nottingham Castle, Aqua Vista, Waterside and Marina, and we are going to have a trip to McDonald's any minute. We've missed them. And then we're going out tonight for a few pints, and then tomorrow we'll make our way back to Sorling Marina down the last bit of the Trent. So I hope you've enjoyed this log of our visit up to Lincoln. Thank you very much for all your support, and do take care.